So today is Halloween. Today is Tuesday, October 31st, 2017. You guys, it's about to be 2018. I feel like we are in the Jetsons, and I should have one of those little like things that do my hair, like, you know, the Jetson lady. What's her name? Wilma? Was Wilma her name? Probably not. But I watched the Jetsons, and every time I watched it, I loved it when she put that little thing on her hair. Because I'll tell you something, I love doing my makeup. I am all about that makeup life. I will spend, if I can, if I had an hour to do my makeup and I was going to an event and I was doing like a full face and everything like that, I love doing my makeup. I feel like it's so relaxing and therapeutic and just like artistic, so I love it. But my hair, for some reason, I do not love doing my hair. And that little casquito, or what is it? It was some sort of like helmet that changed her hair. That seemed like a really good idea to me. So I think 2018, we need to have that, right? Yes. Anyway, I hope you're having a good day. I love you so much. A lot of things are happening. I didn't vlog yesterday. It was a crazy day. I had an interview for a podcast called Crowdfunding. I'm going to link it down below, but Jonathan interviewed me for his podcast about my crowdfunding campaign, which is my Indiegogo campaign for my book. And he did such a fantastic job at the interview, and he was so kind to me before the interview, through the interview, and then after the interview. And I just thought that was so cool, and just God just is so good with, you know, I'm thinking like I have literally right now I don't have any social media. I deleted my Instagram and my Facebook, and I kept thinking, how am I going to market a book with no social media, and how am I gonna you know, I wrote the book, but I have never written a book. I've never been through the process of publishing a book. I've never been through the process of marketing a book. So just all these questions were in my head as God was pressing into my heart to write the manuscript. And I just kept thinking, you know what? I'm going to do the one thing that I can today. And I think that's a great lesson that I'm learning and that I would love to share with you, is that whenever you feel like you have a desire in your heart, or like a goal, or there's a burning passion and desire to do something, and you know it's sort of this God-given purpose that you have gotten. I like to, when I have things like that, I used to just either discount them as like, no, that's crazy, that would never happen, or that's just too big, there's no way I could do it. But now I believe that if God put that in my head, and if it's from Him, and it goes in line with Scripture, and it doesn't contradict anything in the Bible as far as like what God says about my life, and I've prayed about it, and people that are around me confirm it, then it's like, go, do it. It doesn't matter how. Like, the how will always trip us up, and that used to trip me up all the time. I used to think, how is this going to happen? How am I going to write a book? How am I going to start a blog? How am I going to da la 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 la, right? And God is interested more in the who. Who are you going with? Who is coming with you? And He is coming with you. So you don't have to worry about the how. The how will appear literally as you're walking towards that destination. And to me, some of the things that I've prayed for and I have received, I believe that it's not in the destination that we find our worth, our happiness, our joy, our peace. Whatever we're searching for, we already have. Whatever you are searching for, you already have. Isn't that insane? It's in you. It's within you. Whatever you are searching for, it's right there. And all we have to do is open our eyes to that realization that we already are successful. We already are worthy of love and connection. We already are valuable because God loves us. And out of that overflow, then we can do amazing things through Him, for Him, and in Him, because He's amazing, and He wants to partner with us and have us live our best life that He created us for, right? And the how is not The how will always trip us up because we just have to start with the one thing that we can do today. And for me, on those days where I was like, okay, I know that God called me to write a book. And I know that today that looks like just sitting down on my computer and writing for an hour. That was my how that day. And I wasn't bothered by all of the other things. Like, I mean, yes, they came up in my head, but I was like, nope, I'm not even going to think about that. I'm going to think about the one thing that I can do today. So all this to say, I deleted my social media with kind of this like feeling of like, okay, if God called me to do all these things, it's going to be through him, and he doesn't need social media to do his thing. And whatever happens with my book, you know what? I'm to the point where I've surrendered it so many times to God that whatever happens with it, it's to his glory and it's for him, and I'm just going to delight in the journey of getting to know God more for myself, getting to know who I am, getting to know him even more. So it's through the journey that we grow and that we find that passion for life. So I'm excited. I feel like this has been such an interesting season in my life. I've definitely, I think I've always known how to struggle. I've always known how to deal with disappointment because I've dealt with a lot of disappointment in my life. And right now I'm sort of dealing with the opposite spectrum. Is that my life isn't always good. There's no perfection within me, in my own flesh. There's no perfection in my life. Like, I have hard days, I have hard times, I have disappointments still, I have failure still. You should watch my Halloween live segment on CBS. I was doing makeup on live television, and I was like, oh, here's how you do a Wonder Woman band. And I was like, "Rah!" And totally messed up on live television on one side of the forehead. But you know what? I did a great job on the other side of the forehead. So I'm figuring that this life has good and this life has awful. This life has joy, and I mean, it always has joy, but it has happiness and it has sadness. And there's that. I'm at this point, I'm receiving so many of the prayers and the blessings that I had prayed for 4 years ago, 5 years ago. They're happening to me right now. And that's the part where I'm in this journey to learning how to be totally grateful for the blessings that God is pouring out into my life. Because it's literally, there's this verse that says, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has for those who love him, what God has planned for those who love him. Something like that. I will put the exact verse right here as I'm speaking. I don't want to misquote the Bible, but that's the verse that I think about all the time. That's one of the verses that kept me alive 4 years ago when I was going through my deepest depression of all. And I kept thinking, Lord, if you really mean this, if you mean that there's no eye that has seen, no ear that has heard, no mind that has conceived the plans, the good plans that God has prepared for me, I couldn't fathom what that was. And now that I'm experiencing some of it, a lot of it, it's beautiful to see. It's beautiful to see. And I'm praying through these feelings of like guilt, of getting these blessings from, as a blogger, you think, wow, once people start sending you free stuff to try, that you've made it, you're a success, right? That in my head, that was what I was thinking. And now that brands are sending me things, that's not how I feel. I don't feel like I've made it. I don't feel happy. I feel excited and super awesome at that moment. But for me to remain joyful is a choice that I make on a daily basis, right? These things that brands are sending me are amazing and they're a huge blessing and a gift, but they don't make me happy. I choose that for myself. I get to decide what makes me happy. And sometimes happiness isn't always the emotion that I want to be feeling, Like, for example, my dad has bone cancer and he's about to start his chemotherapy treatment. And I don't want to be like, yay, chemo. Like, that's not the emotion that I want to be having about my dad being really sick, right? I'm grieving that. I'm sad and I am going through just some time of just letting myself grieve over my dad's health. and the change in our family with the new circumstance that we stand against, right? So happiness isn't always the thing. And I think our society and our culture says if you're not happy, you're not successful, you're not good enough if you're not always happy. Being happy all the time isn't serving anybody. Joy is different. Joy is this thing that cannot be shaken. I've experienced joy in the depths of my despair. I've experienced joy in my deepest pain. Joy comes from God. That is like a supernatural gift that the Lord gives us when we, even for 1 millisecond, have faith that He is a good Father, and that the things that we're going through are not in vain, and that the pain and the suffering that we're going through is not just suffering, and it's not just pain. It's producing something good, like hope. Hope never fails. It doesn't. It never fails. It has not failed me. And trust me, I've jumped out in faith so many times, so scared that God would not catch me, and He has caught me every single time. Listen, I have failed God many, many times, and I will make mistakes as long as I am breathing on this earth. But God will never fail me, and He will never, ever fail you. I hope that you know that today, that you cling to that today. Whatever you're going through, love, whatever you are going through, God is going to use it for your good, and He loves you, and He is a good Father. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has planned for you. I love you so much. Have a beautiful rest of your day. This was, I don't know, I just feel super grateful and inspired right now, and I just thought I would vlog a little bit of what is in my heart. All right. I will see you soon. My arm is, it's a good workout, but I need to now switch it over to the other hand. All right, I'm really going. Oh, I'm gonna show you my outfit really quick. Got this at Express a really long time ago. I got it in high school, so I've had it over 10 years. So Express, good job. You did a great job at making something that lasted and that is still on trend and super cute. And then I popped on this little blazer jacket from H&M. I got that a really long time ago, so I doubt that they have it right now. But yeah, this is just my little outfit inspiration of the day.